So I recently purchased one of these Michaels dot grid notebooks, and it didn't have any pockets in the front or back. So I decided that I would make my own, and I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to do that yourself. So what you're going to need is some heavy cardstock paper and a sheet of paper that is wider than your pocket is going to be, a pair of scissors, some double-faced tape or some glue, and maybe a ruler. Okay, so what I did first was I decided how large I wanted my pocket to be, and I cut a piece of this cardstock to fit. Okay, so however big you want that to be, that's how big it is. So what you're going to do then, I hope you can see this, is you're going to center your piece of paper on the larger sheet. And what I'm doing here is I'm leaving a margin about this wide. Can you see that? About this, it's about a ½ inch. And then I'm also centering it from side to side, about equally on both sides. So I've got 1 3/4 inches on this side and 1 3/4 inches on that side. So that's the first step. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line across the top. You're going to cut that off later. Now what you're going to do is make some folds. So I'm just going to hold this down nice and steady, and I'm going to fold up the edge of my paper like so. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, keeping my cardstock nice and steady here on the center. And I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. So I'm just making creases all the way around, just like that. Okay, now I can move this out of the way for a couple minutes. Now I'm just going to reinforce these folds so they're nice and strong. And then I'm going to cut this off so that it's easy to work with. Now, this edge here doesn't need to be straight, but I'm just going to cut slightly on the inside edge of this paper and discard the strip that I cut away. All right, so I don't need that anymore. So our first folds come in this way, okay, in like this. And our next fold, we're going to think about this in thirds. I'm just going to mark on here 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to focus on this point here, and it's helpful to use a ruler. I'm going to place my ruler right there on the line that I made, and also down on this corner fold that I made earlier along the bottom. And now I'm going to hold this still, press down, and I'm going to crease this on this angle. And now you can see I've folded it like so. And then I'm going to fold the other way. So for now, I'm just going to flatten this all out. And now I'm going to bring this back and fold it so that my edges all line up along here. So you see this fold I'm making is equal to the bottom fold underneath. This is like origami, isn't it? I made this up myself. I don't know if this is a standard way of doing things or not, but this is what I have done. Okay, so now I have my pocket accordion here at the top, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna put my ruler here in the corner, and I'm gonna fold up until I get to that same spot that I marked, and fold this like so. All right, and then the same thing over here. I'm going to fold the bottom edge back so that it lies along my bottom fold. You can just eyeball it like so. Okay, now we just have to do a little bit of trimming and a little bit of taping. So I'm going to use my scissors here. I'm gonna open this up. I'm just going to trim, I'm going to draw some lines here so you can see. One of my folds, the crease comes in like this, and the other one, the crease comes in like this. I'm just going to trim a bit off of this edge so that it's easy to fold in. And then same thing for this part. I'm going to trim in to meet that edge. This is all going to be taped into the inside of my pocket. So so it won't matter. And then up here, I'm just gonna trim off all these jagged edges that I created by folding. Just gonna flip it over and trim that off. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'll start off with this jagged edge at the top. Just trim that off like so. And then at the bottom, the first thing I did was trim into the corner and then keep on trimming out to the edge like so. So this is going to come up, these are going to come in, and those are going to be leveled off. Now we're going to get our double-faced tape and we're going to attach this to this. All right, so here I have my tape and I'm actually going to place it on the folded part that I created. Just have to find the end here. So I'm going to start with the sides. I'm just going to put it attached right at the top here, coming down like so. Trim it off. And other side, same thing. Now, if you have a situation where your tape is a little bit wider than this top edge corner, be a little careful that you're not gonna glue tape things down. Let me show you what I mean. Right up here, this accordion needs to be able to open and close. So trim your tape so that it matches the shape of your paper, if there's a little angle there. Ta-da! Okay, now another piece across the bottom, like so. I did really miss the pocket in the, because I had a look term, but I didn't want to spend $30, and I honestly like the whiteness of the paper better on these Michael's journals. They're a slightly different shape, interestingly enough. Okay, so I went past the edge here. I'm just going to trim that tape so it doesn't end up collecting gunk everywhere. And now I'm going to peel off the paper and attach these together. Okay, so I have removed all of the paper off my tape. Now I'm going to carefully line this up and tape it down. So I'm just going to look at a corner here and see if I can line it up carefully along the bottom and the edge. Okay, so press that down nice and firmly. And now you have a pocket with one thick edge and a paper back. And you can see that it opens and closes on an angle like so. And I'm going to now turn it to the paper side and do the same thing. I'm going to put double-faced tape all the way around, and then I'm going to attach it to the inside cover of my notebook. All right, so I've attached my double-faced tape and I've pulled the paper off, and now I'm going to open to the back cover of my journal and just going to turn it up this way. And I'm going to attach it so that it opens to the middle, and that means I don't actually need to have like a flap that closes it, because this piece of paper will act as a closing flap. So I'm just going to line it all up just like so and press down on the edges. Now you can use any kind of paper you want to do this. You could use some nice decorative paper. You could design something on your own to create some art on there, whatever you like. But now you have a place to slide some things and keep them inside the back cover or the front cover of your journal. All right, so easy as that. Let me know what you think. You can subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.